Today was one of the biggest non-draft related days in recent Sharks history. They signed Jacob Trouba and Mason Marchment and also traded for Darnell Nurse. And I just want to talk about everything that happened today a little bit more in depth. I went over this earlier today a bit, but I want to give my whole thoughts on the matter now. There's been a whole wide range of reactions to what the Sharks did today online. A lot of people in the industry, people who aren't necessarily fans of the Sharks, but just follow the league as a whole and report on it, have been saying it was terrible. It was an awful day for the Sharks and they made some bad moves. But a lot of fans of the team have been saying the opposite. They've been responding to those posts online and saying, no, this is actually a really good thing. Those are good players and they're going to help the team win. So what are my thoughts? I've taken into account, I've seen a lot of different arguments on this. I've seen people saying it was good, some saying it was bad, some it was in between. I took it all in and digested all of it, and here is what I think about what the Sharks did today. I don't really like it. I don't think this is as devastating as what some people around the league are saying, but I also don't fully agree with some Sharks fans who are acting like these were really good moves and are going to be good for the long-term health of the team. And here's why. So I don't think this is going to prevent us from signing our core going forward. The Celebrinis, the Smiths, the Misas, the Chernyshovs, Stenberg, and Dickinson. Those are the core six kind of right now. And I think we're going to easily have enough room to fit those guys in over the next 4 years when these contracts are running. I don't think that'll be an issue. I did the math. You can go to puckpedia.com and look at the Sharks cap space over the next few years, even factoring in these new contracts. And yeah, we should be fine. I think even if we sign all six of those guys to like what they're worth over the next few years, we should still have 20 million plus in cap space pretty much every season to continue signing guys or trading for guys or whatever we need. So I don't think it's not like we're going to have to let Michael Misa walk because we did this, or Sam Dickinson's not going to get a contract or anything like that. I just think this was not a good use of our cap space. Like, that was one of the biggest things we had going for us, was we have a ton of empty cap space that we can use to our advantage. And I don't think that trading for Darnell Nurse's full contract, that signing Jacob Trouba and Mason Marchment, I don't think that was the best way to do it. Do we really want this much money tied up in past their prime mid-30s defensemen like Trouba and Darnell Nurse? By 2029, 2030, it's going to be $20 million plus locked up in these guys. Not to mention, we also have Sherwood signed and Wenberg signed, and those guys are going to be in their mid-30s as well. I don't think that's how we should have used this cap space. I think we should have weaponized it a little bit more and been smarter with the guys we signed. Signed younger guys who could have grown with the group. That's something that Greer has been preaching over the last couple seasons, is he wants young guys who can grow with the group. And I get that, yes, you need veterans too. They can't all be guys that are 21, 22 years old, but this many all at once, all the same type of aging veteran who are probably on the downswing of their career, they're still going to have some value and they'll probably help us win next year, but what about 3 or 4 years down the road? I don't think that was the best way to do it. I don't know if Greer was panicking and trying to make us compete too soon. I don't know if he might really like these guys. He might think that these guys are the answer, that Darnell Nurse is going to really help our defense and whatnot. And I know a lot of people are saying that, look, it's fine. In 3 or 4 years, that's when we're going to have to pay contracts to our young guys and it'll be fine. And you're not wrong about that. We're probably not going to have that much money tied up even the next 4 years when we're paying these guys. I just think we could have made better moves with that money. I don't think we needed to spend this much all on players like this offseason. I don't know if Darnell Nurse 4 years from now is even going to be very playable. I don't know. Maybe he is. I don't know. And then another thing that I really don't like about these moves is that I think that it's blocking a lot of prospects. And one thing that, again, Greer has been preaching is that we need these young guys to take a job from the veterans, right? We need them to come and take a job. But is Luca Cagnoni actually going to come up and take a job from Dmitry Orlov or from Darnell Nurse or from Sam Dickinson? Like, these are the guys that he would have to beat out to take a job. And I think that was a lot easier before we signed Trouba and Nurse. It's just hard for me to see Cagnoni taking a job from one of these veterans at this point. And I know it doesn't mean you have to leave a job open for him and just assume that Cags is going to step up and be a power play quarterback next year and leave it open for him. But like, you're really not giving him much of a chance now, especially we're paying Nurse $9 million a year. We're paying Trouba $8 million a year. Orlov's getting over $6 million a year. We're not going to bench these guys just to give Cagnoni a chance. And then I think you can forget about Philip Biestet, Quentin Musty. There's no way these guys are going to break into the top 9 or even anywhere on the offense as it stands, unless we trade some guys away, which is possible. But again, I don't know if signing Mason Marchment in his 30s was necessarily the right way to go about this. Paying him, I don't mind $7 million a year, but I mind it for 5 years till he's 36. I don't know if that's the best way to spend that money. And I guess, if we didn't have Ty Dellandrea being re-signed at the end of last year, it's a little easier to see how maybe Biested could make the team somewhere here going forward. But again, we just signed Ty Dellandrea to a contract. I don't see why we would bench him immediately after signing him to a 2-year deal. So maybe I'm wrong, but it's a little hard for me to see that. Another thing that a lot of people have been saying today was, well, look, it's not a huge deal. 3 or 4 years down the road, if we need to, running out of cap space, we can just buy out the rest of their contract, or we can trade them. We can even pay someone an asset to trade them for us, and it'll be fine. We can afford to do that. And I guess my response to that would just be, it's probably not a great sign if on the day one of these new signings and trades, we're already talking about how we can get out of them 3 or 4 years down the road. We are probably going to make the playoffs next year. That's the good news. But I think that this just hurts the team 3 or 4 years down the road. Unless Darnell Nurse really keeps it going at a solid clip for a while here and Jacob Trouba doesn't fall off more. But at the very least, I think the Sharks are going to make the playoffs next year, which is cool. And that's exciting. And that I think our defense is going to be a lot better next year for sure. But I think, again, I'm just a little skeptical this was the best way to go about things, and I'm a little worried. I think we're going to be able to lock up our core. I don't think there's a problem with that. We don't have to worry about losing Celebrini. We don't have to worry about losing Verhoff Dickinson or anyone like that. But we're going to have to keep building a team around these guys down the road. And I don't think having, $17 million plus a year locked into Darnell Nurse and Jacob Trouba for the 2029-2030 season makes a lot of sense. That's just my thinking. One other thing I wanted to go over with you guys, the Timo Meier trade is now kind of dead. The main pieces we got for Timo Meier was Fabian Zetterlund, Shakir Moukmadoulan, and Quentin Musty. Zetterlund, gone. Moukmadoulan, gone. Quentin Musty, technically still here, but he is blocked from doing anything as the offense currently stands, so he's about to be gone. That pretty much does it for the Timo Meier trade. I'm not really upset about the trade. It didn't make sense for us to pay him at the time or extend him. And he has also fallen off a little bit in New Jersey, but it is a little sad to see that all the pieces we've gotten for him, I guess you could argue that, look, we got Darnell Nurse in exchange for Moukmadoulan, and we got Ostapchuk in exchange for Zetterlund, but the pieces we got are gone. Like it's unfortunate the way it's worked out. And we did use them as trade pieces, but still, it's a little hard to tangibly see what we got for Timo Meier anymore. It's pretty much out the window. So let me know what you guys think down below as usual. Again, I don't think today was like some completely devastating thing for the franchise, because I think a lot of people online are assuming that we're like not going to be able to lock up our core or something. And again, that's just not true. Go to Puckpedia. You can look at it yourself. You can see what our salary cap situation looks like in the next few years. One other thing I wanted to go over again, just in case anyone missed it from the last video, just because these contracts are structured such that the salary is up front, in the last couple of years we don't owe them as much salary, that does not affect their cap hit. Their cap hit is determined by their average annual value, which for Jacob Trouba, that's a little over $8 million a year. That is constant every year. It doesn't matter if he's paid more some years and less other years. It's $8.25 million every year. That doesn't change. So just in case anyone missed that from earlier, I wanted to make that clear too. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. If you liked it, you didn't like it. I don't think this is devastating, but I'm not very happy with what happened today personally. But let me know what you think down below. And thanks for watching, guys. And I'll be back with more Sharks news soon.